Help me out here. How's it going?
Not too bad.
Here we are. On some old lady's porch.
Are we starting?
Yeah.
Oh. Let's do it.
Hello, welcome back to the Help Me Out Here podcast, everybody. Today I'm with my beautiful friend, my band.
Beautiful.
I'd say quite attractive at this point.
Why, thank you.
You've not always been like that. We've really shaped up in recent years.
Yeah, when I was born, I was pretty ugly.
Yeah, you were a nasty baby. We are greeted by some baby birds.
Baby birds, see if you can hear them.
Hopefully that got picked up.
So cute.
There's a lot of baby birds over there. We're at our friend Mike's house. He lives with his mother, and we're on her cute little patio. There's like deer that have run up here in the yard earlier today.
There was a hummingbird over here earlier. We got to watch while we were eating breakfast.
Yeah, it was nice. We had a good morning.
It's actually very beautiful.
I don't think I mentioned yet, but I'm here with Jeremy Schaeffer. That's you.
That is me.
He's the vocalist of Groans. He's an audio engineer, creator of the click track mixer.
Wayo.
I always forget about that one.
Yeah.
Master inventor. And let's see, you've been a part of other projects.
Many inventions.
You've been in Give to the Winds.
Yes.
Was that like your first
Guilty.
serious band?
I don't know. Yeah, probably the most serious band I was in. But I was also, like, I started playing music when I was very young. I got a drum set at 11. Before that, I played piano. My parents made me play piano.
Okay.
And now they don't really like that I'm playing music as a career choice. So,
but it's their
make
fault.
up your mind, you know?
Yeah,
like,
they
yeah, this
forced
is
you
your
into
fault. But yeah, so I started playing piano very young. Then I got a drum set. Then me and my brother started up a sick cover band.
What was it called?
Muted Rebels.
I don't know if you told me that. Muted? Why muted?
Because we started off, we didn't have a singer.
That's why it's muted.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I believe that we were like, I think I was 13 or 14 at this time.
Whoa, that's a long time.
Yep. Then we decided to rebrand.
Uh-oh.
Because we got a bass player.
Yeah,
and then I started singing. Because every time we'd play a show, like, well, it's cool, but like, where's your singer?
Yeah.
It's like, well, we couldn't find a singer. You know, in Scotland, South Dakota, it's pretty hard to find.
And Scotland's like an 800-person town, right?
887.
Okay.
Give us a little more credit.
Okay, we're pushing 9.
Yep. But since census, I mean, most of the town is old people, so at least 50 of those people have died.
Since census. That's such an old person thing to say.
Hey, let me lean into the culture a little bit there. But anyways, so we'll just call it 800.
All right. We'll round those 87 down. Trim off the fat.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you rebranded.
Yeah, and then then we were called Soul Fight.
Was that
fighting for our soul?
You're like battling demons and stuff for God?
Yeah, that was basically the Ephesians, whatever that verse is. I don't remember numbers. We don't fight the war against flesh and blood, but against the powers of the darkness. You know, that scripture reference.
Okay.
But that was our thing. We had a shirt that had blood splatter on it. What was the lyrics?
You guys were hard.
Dude, we were so hard, man.
That was you and your brother Joe?
That was me, my brother Joe, and our cousin Phil and our cousin John.
South Dakota family
Keep
band.
it in the fam.
Dude, you guys had a very talented family.
Oh, no. we were awful. We were terrible.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but anyway, so that was my first serious band. Because we even toured, man.
Did you really?
Yeah, we really did. And somehow we made money. Like, this was back when the scene was really good.
So, like, back in that day, was it
It would have been
any
like
show?
2005, 2006.
So, like, any show planned, people are there?
People were just there. We'd play,
Wow.
we'd just play, like, in some venue, like, in the town of, like, we played shows in Scotland, which is the weirdest thing.
What?
There was a a bowling alley bar there, and one of our friends, you know Trevor Ferguson,
Yeah.
Wolfgang Empire, shout out.
It's a clothing
plug.
brand. They give us free shirts
But
so we don't stink.
yeah, so his parents owned that bar, and he played in a really good band from Sioux Falls. But they would come down, and we would play at this bar, and like half the high school would be there because it was just cool.
That's so cool.
Yeah, like people like. It was cool to go out to shows then.
I'm sad I
But-
never got to experience that life of the scene.
Yeah, I got to experience it when I was young and didn't appreciate it, and I wasn't in a good band, so it was kind of at the wrong time.
Well, it's really
But-
cool that like you even going through that portion of the scene, being in a small, probably crappy band, having great shows nonetheless. It's cool that you still have the passion to keep playing shows.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
you still love it. Like you're the most optimistic about it in all of our band. And you're the oldest and you've been doing it the longest.
Yeah.
Which is really
I think
interesting.
maybe I'm just getting senile.
You're just losing your mind.
Yeah.
No, the shows are good. Shows are fine. There's 3 people.
Yeah, this is fine. Everything's fine.
But is it like, is playing heavy music like, that's it for you? Is that it? Is that like, you have to do it?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm getting older. I'm going to be 31 in a month. And you
That's
know,
wild.
you start counting down your days.
You're
But-
so young at heart.
Yeah, I really
mean,
am.
31 isn't old at all, though.
I've said this before, but as long as Corey from Norma Jean can still freaking rock the stage at like 40, whatever he is, and like every time I die guys, like they're still rocking harder than anybody.
Still legends.
Yeah, like that gives me hope that I can still be doing this, you know, for another at least 10 years. But we'll see. I mean, I can definitely be content playing heavy music forever. I could also see myself playing in a different style band too. Obviously not doing vocals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, like I could, you know, play drums, or if I can learn how to, or get back on the drums and refresh my pull the chops back out.
Okay.
But I could definitely see myself playing in some type of rock band, some type of, not country, but just about anything else.
Anything else?
I could play bass if it was easy enough.
You could probably play guitar. You just practice for a while.
I don't know if I would ever play guitar because I don't know if I'm ever really. I'm not like. I don't have chops and I don't have grace, or like I'm not fluid. Like my movements are.
I know what you're
all
saying.
Very stiff.
Yeah.
But I can keep
that takes
rhythm
years
very,
to get.
very well. Yeah, I can keep rhythm very, very well. Starting as a drummer and such.
I always forget. Sick brag, dude. I always forget that you started as a drummer.
Right. Yeah, I played drums for 7 years. I played in a lot of like worship bands and churches and stuff, and then I was the drummer of my first band. I don't know if I told you this or mentioned this, but in Soulfight, I was the drummer and the vocalist.
Oh yeah,
I
you
had this sick Britney Spears microphone.
the pop get up.
Yeah, man.
So on stage, were you in the front as the drummer?
No, I was still in the back.
Okay.
Yep.
That's funny.
But I would take my shirt off for some reason.
well, because you were ripped.
No, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But because I thought that was cool. I don't know. I
bet it was.
A lot of.
I wish we could go back in time and just watch one show.
Oh, it would be really bad. I would jump around. I would jump up in between parts and like be like, yeah,
Like standing up on the kit, like trying to get people hyped.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I love that.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And here we are today.
Here we are.
We're on tour together. We've been doing this Earth Groans thing for what? Almost 5 years now? Or is it over 5?
It's just over 4 years. May was 4 years.
Okay.
So
it's always May.
yeah. So May 29th was our very first show as Earth Groans,
In Sioux Falls.
Sioux Falls.
And during that show, our very first show, I was chewing gum.
Oh, yeah.
Very first Earth Groans show. And I started to like kind of choke on it a little bit. So I went to spit it out. And as soon as I spit it out, I had long hair at the time. It got stuck in my hair and like swung up. It was like, whoop, and then came right back down and went right into my throat. It was like,
Right back in.
yeah. So it hung in my hair during that song.
Legendary.
Yeah. Pretty good time. That's crazy. So yeah, I'm just interested to see what will happen.
Dude, so much has happened in the last 4 years. I mean,
Yeah.
just look at each one of our individual lives, and then also,
Oh my gosh, yeah.
you know, the band itself. Like,
So
it's incredible how
Yeah.
much has just changed.
when we started the band, I was in college.
You were in college.
I was in Springfield,
Okay,
Missouri.
should we tell them how we started this band?
Oh,
Like,
yes.
So when when I first started writing Earth Groans stuff, I was gonna just do it as a solo project, just to kind of like feed my itch, because I hadn't been touring for a couple years. I'd been doing my studio stuff full time for 3 years after my last band, Give to the Winds, broke up, because I was like, that was it. That was my last chance.
Yeah.
I guess I gotta go to the grind. So I was doing studio stuff full time, and then I was getting the itch to play again, and so I was like, well, I'm going to just start writing a project that I've always wanted to write, at least just for fun. And then I got kind of a wild hair to maybe actually start doing it full time. Well, I got divorced, and we won't get super into that. But
Okay.
I mean, we can if you want. But
I was going to ask you. I should ask you before.
sure. Well, we can come back to it.
Yeah.
But I needed a life change after the divorce and stuff. So I was either going to move, or I was going to start touring again, take the solo project full time. These
Birds are
They're going top. Wow, having a
Must
party
be
over there.
feeding time. Dinner's ready.
I like run over there and come back, and I got a mouthful of straw. Anyways, but so I needed a change of life, and so I decided I was going to start doing this band thing, trying to take it as a full-time thing. And I posted something very, very vague about it on like social media, like
It was
something
on
like
Facebook.
Yeah, and you messaged me within a few minutes, and you knew exactly what I was talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was one of those. There is some backstory that we'll get to in a little bit.
Sure.
But yeah, you posted something like thinking about starting a side project.
Yeah, or
it was
taking
like
this
something
project
so,
serious, something like that.
So simple. And I saw it and instantly went to your page, hit message, and I was like, "Hey, let me join your band." That's all I said.
That's what he said. And I said right back, I said, "Well, I would, but you're in college and I want to tour full time." And then you're like, "Well, I'm gonna quit college so I can tour."
Yeah, and then I did. It
Yeah.
started as a joke, and then I think after that little first conversation, we ended up talking on the phone, and I was just like, touring is all I want to do, because at that time I was in my old band, Type A Alert.
Yeah.
Worst band name ever. Let's just let everyone know that. But
Muted Rebels, come on.
that's pretty bad too. But yeah, so I was in Type A Alert, and I was at the point where I was booking all of my band's shows, and I would drive like 8 hours on the weekends to go back to Nebraska, play one show, and then 8 hours back, like asking my parents for gas money. Like, I just wanted to play music so bad.
Right.
And then I saw you post that. I was like, I knew you were legit because we had recorded with you prior to that. And I was like, okay, this guy, he's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. He's a musician. I knew that you had been in a touring band before. I was like, even if this is kind of a joke, I just want to see where it goes.
Sure.
And then we just talked about it, and I was like, well, let me think about it and pray about it, quitting college.
Yeah.
And then I did.
Yeah.
We started touring, though, while I was in college.
Yeah. Because you were trying to, like, I don't remember how exactly it went down, but you were just trying to, like, wrap it up because you weren't far from being done. And you're like, I'm still going to try and tour as much as I can without getting kicked out. And you almost did get kicked out.
I had to beg one of my professors to not kick me out because of how many days I missed. All my grades were fine.
Yeah. But, yeah, we were, like... You would come home, we'd go out for 14 days, and then you'd go right back to school. And, like, we were doing that. Like, we'd be out for, like, 3 weeks, home for, like, a month, out for 3 weeks, home. Yeah, it was...
Dude, sometimes it doesn't feel like I actually went through that stuff. Like, the grind part.
Yeah.
Like, we're still grinding, but not at that phase where it's like, I was leaving school. We didn't know anybody. We had no connection. So we would, like, not shower for a week.
Oh, yeah.
I would come back to college like a complete slob, disgusting, and like park my car and go to class after being on tour for 2 weeks. I would be so nasty. Like, I probably smelled so bad just sitting in these high-end business classes. It's so dumb. But it was worth it.
Oh, totally worth it.
And I ended up not finishing school.
Which was worth it.
Well, it's like,
Yeah.
even if I finished school, I would still be doing what I'm doing now.
Right.
And I don't have a regular job, which is what the path I chose anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't care. I know people make fun of it, and it is silly, but I don't care at this point.
He's gonna hate.
I'm pretty rich at this point anyway.
Dude, that's for sure. When you're sitting on your yacht, they'll be like, you know what? I should have quit college too.
Yeah, they're gonna regret it, dude.
They're gonna regret it.
No, but yeah, it's crazy how we went through that grind phase, of just like the very beginning. I feel like there's just no excuse. Like if you want to do something, you have to kind of make
You
it
have
happen.
you have to make a sacrifice somewhere in your life, you know. I've been entrepreneurial since I was like in high school, and I've always just like anything. I'm an extreme dude, so anything that I like want, I'm gonna do whatever it possibly takes to make that happen. Like I would leave for tour with negative, I'd get the text a day into tour, insufficient funds in your bank account.
Oh, I've been there
Whatever,
many times.
this amount. And I was like, frick, I have to live for 2 weeks with negative amount of money in my bank account.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
We would eat out of trash cans.
Literally.
We would call restaurants and
Every
ask
day.
for free food every single day. We
Yeah.
would get it almost every day.
We were very, 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 very blessed because people would open up their doors to us and they'd feed us. And like we'd have friends bring food in like care baskets or care packages to shows and stuff like that. Like if you want to restore your hope for humanity, go on tour and let other people bless you. Because I think for other people, like they're happy to do that. Like they're happy to help. Like when they see somebody like chasing their goal like that, they want to help see you succeed, you know, and they're inspired by that. And that inspires us that people are, opening
Caring.
up their doors. Yeah. So
That was a beautiful phase.
it is,
You know?
yeah.
And if you keep going and going, you grow. And we've grown past that. But we're still like in a grind phase. It's just kind of different now.
Yeah.
Like
It's a different phase. We're still grinding, but it's like we're in a new kind of grind phase. We're definitely farther along, so things aren't.
we're not
as-
booking our own tours.
Yep.
We're not
We have a lot of help, a good team behind us helping us out.
we're not begging for money because we get like a little bit every day for money.
Yep.
It's like $10.
Yeah, a little bit
Or for food, sorry,
yeah,
not money.
buyout and stuff. Yeah, catering.
Yeah, so it's like we're just like a little bit we're just slowly growing.
Slowly, yeah. It's been incredible. We're very blessed for sure.
It's crazy. It's fun to talk about this and like reminisce. Like, and that's only a couple years
Reflect.
ago.
Yeah,
We were grungy,
dude. Yeah, real grungy.
You're crazy though because your body, you can like not shower for weeks and not stink.
It's hard being perfect.
Dude, lonely at the top. But I like can go 2 days no shower and smell so horrendous.
Yeah,
Just booty juice
yeah.
flustering out of me.
You are a mongrel.
I'm a creature. And
He's
back-
probably. I think he's taken the role as probably one of the smelliest dudes in the band.
yeah, but I shower and clean myself as
Yeah,
much
you
as
do
I
make an attempt.
I used to not care.
It'd be different if you didn't care, or like if you were like, nah, it's okay, or like they can suffer.
Yeah, now
But-
I really like the feeling of fresh socks and underwear.
Yep.
I love showering when I can, cleaning my hairs and my skins.
Yep.
Feels good. That's
Sure.
crazy, man. So we're on an off day right now.
Yes.
We're outside of Columbus, Ohio, kind of, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like an hour. Where are
Hour
we?
out,
Yeah,
kind of in the middle. Yeah, just out of in the middle of nowhere, kind of a little bit.
somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice. We have a friend Mike that's letting us chill at his place.
We're gonna play with some fireworks later.
Oh yeah.
So it's the 4th of July in a few days.
So Earth Groans. We have this tradition. Every 4th of July, I don't know, if you followed my YouTube channel, you probably know what this is, but every 4th of July, Jeremy is a pyromaniac.
I am obsessed with pyrotechnics.
Dude, we went to a fireworks shop today and you were like, it's literally the definition of kid in a candy store.
Dude, I was like, it's my Christmas.
You get this giddy laugh. He's like, and yeah, so I never buy fireworks because I know you guys are going all the way out.
Yeah.
I just make the videos. But we have this tradition where every year on the 4th of July, at the end of the night, we're usually just chilling, off day, hanging out. At the end of the night, we strap a bottle rocket into Brady, our drummer's butt crack, and we fire it off into the sky.
Yeah, that's like the finale of the night. We'll usually spend the night shooting off fireworks
Yeah.
and blowing stuff up, whatever.
And end up with
just being idiots.
End with the Brady blast.
Yeah, that's the finale for the night. I think. What did we decide we're gonna do this year?
I
We
think
doing the
we're-
Roman candle out of
we
the
gotta
hiney?
we gotta go big.
Gotta go big.
I think so. The last 2 years we've had trouble with launch. We've had fine. Like Caden does a good job planting it, but Brady tends to clench up because
Yep.
the sparks will come down because he's exposed on his cheeks, and the sparks will hit his cheeks, and he'll clench up. So it'll grab on, and it doesn't get too far, and it will blow up close by. So this year I think we're gonna tape a Roman candle to his butt.
Yeah, we'll have them clench and then we'll tape it in for to fasten, just secure.
So that way we can kind of enjoy more of a longer show.
Yeah, it's a longer show. Yeah, we can crack open a cold one and sit back and
we don't want to
take it all in.
We want to have a good grand finale. So it'll be interesting. That'll be fun. But that's our yearly tradition.
Yep.
And I film it every year and make a fun 4th of July video.
Yep.
I can't wait. I look forward to it every year.
Good times.
And it just happens that we're on tour usually every July.
Yeah, the last like 3 years.
This is third year in a row.
Third year in a row. We also like to keep, we always keep fireworks on hand inside of our van also.
All the time.
All the time. You never know when you're going down the highway and one of the bands you're on tour with rolls up next to you.
Oh, man.
You better believe that we're going to be blowing you up.
Dude, tell them about how we made Phineas mad. It was more so just Bryce, their bass player.
Yeah. Okay, so
last year.
Yeah, it was right before 4th of July, so we were fully stocked. And we were traveling together out to Seattle or somewhere out west. But anyways, we had a long drive. So we're out in the interstate in the middle of, I don't remember where we were. I think there were actually signs for like do not like fire hazard because it was so dry and stuff. That doesn't matter. But anyways, we came rolling up. We see Phineas up ahead. We come rolling up, firework in hand. Brady's got bottle rockets in his hand, and I got 2 Roman candles.
And you taped a bandana, or you had a bandana around you.
Took my shirt off and wrapped it around my head
We're
like
blasting
a bandana.
rock music.
Yeah.
It's always AC/DC.
Always a shoot to kill. Yeah. So we come rolling up. And I hang out the window. Somebody's holding onto my belt loop because I'm like hanging out.
Yeah.
And I have 2 Roman candles, and we just start shooting.
Backward.
No, first we come rolling up. So we start shooting at them because Daniel was driving, and he said that one hit his rear mirror. Anyways,
we go past.
Yeah. So and then we're shooting back at them because I had 2 Roman candles.
And they take a while.
Yeah, it was glorious. But so, I mean, these things are like hitting their van, like bouncing off the highway, hitting their van stuff. Anyway, so we got done with the fireworks, and like immediately after, you were driving, and Bryce calls you.
Oh, yeah.
And
we were all like hyped.
Yeah.
Like we were in that
so
mode
hyped.
where it's like nothing can touch us.
Adrenaline, yeah. So pumped.
And Bryce calls, and he's pissed.
He's pissed.
He's like, yo, bro, that's not cool, bro. This is a $20,000 van. This is a brand new van. And I was like, sorry, dude. Sucks to be you. Like we were in that mode. Hung up.
So I think that they had actually, they're a bunch of litter bugs, and that's one of my biggest pet peeves.
Oh, yeah.
They had left this giant bag of trash on our
van.
hood. Yeah. And you were like, hey, can you pick up that trash that we left behind? Because we threw the Roman candles at him afterwards.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then like Bryce let you have it. And then we were like, uh-oh.
Yeah, we're like, oh gosh, what
they're
a buzz.
pissed.
What a
They're
buzz
pissed.
kill. Yeah, so then we ended up staying at a Walmart with them that night.
Yep.
And he was the only one who was mad.
Yeah, and it smoothed over. You know, we said we were sorry, but they're like, it's cool. It's just like, man, this is like $20,000 van.
Yeah, he had to keep explaining. We're like, we get it.
$20,000 van.
Oh,
we had
funny.
this one cable that went out in our van, and dude, it fucking wrecked our transmission. I don't swear, but unless I'm doing quotes. But
oh
anyways,
my god.
Yeah, it was.
Dude, yeah, that was
so
funny.
the rest of the tour, we were like, $20,000 van. What are you doing? This is a $20,000 van.
We still use that.
We still use
when
that.
we're like making fun of, like, because our van, we have like decals on the side, like shark mouths and stuff. It's like $20,000 van, man. Don't touch it. Yeah, that was good. That was that was a good firework.
Yeah. So anyway, there's a lot more stories of just shooting Roman candles off going down actually the last tour we were, I was shooting Roman candles out while we were driving, and there was a car coming.
And also, everything we're saying right now may or may not be true.
Accurate.
In case any police are watching.
Yes. We abide by all of the rules.
Yeah, this is comedy.
Yes. This is hypothetical.
Hypothetically, what was that story that you made up?
I was shooting, and then we came up over a hill, and there was a car, and I was like, just shooting off into a forest. Because I was like, I don't want to shoot a $20,000 car.
I can't scratch the paint. Dude, I love how crazy you get on the 4th of July. Because I've never been a fireworks
I've
kid.
always been. I used to get in trouble so much for playing with matches and lighters and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
Which
hilarious.
awkwardly enough, like my house got halfway burned down because somebody else. I'd never even burned anything down, but somebody else. But my dad would always yell at me like, "You're gonna burn the house down," because I'd used to go around. I'd light every single candle in the house. Don't know why.
You liked lighting stuff?
Yeah, I don't know why, but I was obsessed with that.
That's so funny. You actually were obsessed.
Yeah, I really was.
That was a loud burp.
Bless you.
My bad.
But yeah, I'd make torches with like duct tape and like cloth, and I would like soak them in gas, and I would throw them and stuff like that.
Oh my gosh. That kind of reminds me of how we had to make all those torches.
Yeah, we did
for our
that.
driving out music video. I can't watch that video anymore.
Yeah, isn't that crazy how that works? I can't listen to that music anymore.
Oh man, yeah, it's hard to listen to old stuff.
It's really hard.
But we're writing a new record.
We are
right now. You're so it's cool because this time I got to write some riffs,
some big riffs,
some big daddy riffs. So I sent you some riffs. You had riffs, and you're the structure guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's your job though. You're a producer.
Yeah,
full time. Mm-hmm. So what's how is everything feeling right now? Because I've only heard rough stuff.
Sure. I mean, it's really hard for me. I have to sit on material that I write for a very long time before I decide if I like it or not. And I've already tossed a couple song ideas because it just wasn't feeling right. And everything is very, very bare. Yeah, I mean, I the first thing I do when I get home is I have to start adding bass to stuff. So until stuff really starts coming together, I always feel kind of a little nervous about it. But overall, I feel pretty good about it. This record's gonna be a little bit lighter.
Which I'm stoked about.
Yeah, we won't talk about that too much because we don't want to give away too much yet. But yeah,
it's not like we're completely changing anything.
Yeah,
either.
for sure. It's definitely still Earth Groans. But yeah, so I'm excited about it. I'm feeling pretty good about it. We're definitely doing a little more structured stuff than we've done in the past, which is cool. The next record might not be as structured. We'll kind of see.
Because we kind of have some rough ideas for record 3 and 4.
Yes,
and
this is 3, and next one 4. Yeah, so they'll kind of coincide with each other. We want them to kind of be cohesive and tell a story.
Yeah.
So be connected.
And I think that's really cool because I had Jesse Cash on the last episode, and we talked about how a full-length album, in his opinion, he sees it as this timepiece, something that's it feels bigger than just an EP. And I agree with what he's saying, but also I really like EPs because, I mean, as far as the music industry is right now, let's just talk about pop for a little bit.
Sure.
Pop music is singles.
Singles only. And then after, what is it, a year or two of singles, they'll just be okay, here's an album. And it's all the singles. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's that. So I feel and since everything is going to streaming, people just go to Spotify, and it doesn't even necessarily matter your albums because you can just hit play all and it'll stream through everything, or it'll play whatever is the top 5, and it doesn't matter which record it's from. So yeah, it seems like with the industry, the way things are going, it seems like records aren't necessarily as important as they used to be. One composition. I mean, you can still be arty and everything like that, and I love writing a cool EP front to back, but it doesn't seem like it matters quite as much. Having, real, on this, this record or whatever. Now it's just content in general.
Yeah.
So we can release more often, and
Because we're going to do EPs every single year.
Every single year. Yep. So we can release more. Yeah, it's I think it's less about, having records, and it's more about being relevant.
Yeah.
Is honestly
consistent.
Yeah, relevant and consistent. I think that's, and maybe I'm totally wrong. Maybe we're just screwing ourselves and we're gonna die in a few.
Yeah, who
in a
knows?
fiery.
It
crash.
could totally happen. We could totally be doing it wrong, but I think it's cool that we're trying to be ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I
in
mean,
the
and
metal
when
world.
we brought this idea to the label, and kind of we want to be an EP band.
Yeah, like hesitant.
Like, yeah, and they were all about it. Like, I love the idea. So they're about it, you know. And maybe it's just because it's something different than what everybody else is doing. But I don't know.
And it's kind of like a guinea pig thing too for a label, because
Yeah.
I mean labels. I feel like labels are kind of in a weird place
They definitely
because
are with
labels
streaming
make
and-
money from CD sales,
Yeah.
and now everything is Spotify.
Yeah.
So it's like it's kind of a fun test.
Yeah, the whole industry is changing. So it's just like, it's like if you want to be successful, you just have to be able to change with it, you know, and
Yeah.
be smart about how you change with it, you know. And I think that's the struggle of, like, you know, being successful in, you know, the music industry, especially in today's day. But
Yeah. One thing, so I liked how on the most recent record we put out last year, Rahab, 5-track EP, is cool. So on Spotify, every single is just it's an individual song.
Right.
But if you buy a physical copy of the CD, every song flows together
Yes.
as one big piece,
Yep.
which is kind of cool. I like that because it makes a physical copy still worth it.
Yeah.
Because you can get an individual experience from that. Pop it into your car or your system at home, and you get this big flowy piece.
Right. Yep.
If you just want to throw a song in a playlist, it's not gonna like cut off weird.
Yeah.
Or anything.
Yeah, for sure. So I did bounce 2 different masters and stuff.
So that's kind of a cool way to keep CDs fresh. Still, I still don't know how long CDs are gonna be around.
Yeah, that's a weird thing that it's like, how I even asked Adam from Salt State that. I was like, how much longer should we be touring with CDs?
Yeah.
Because we, you know, it seems like every tour is less and less. Maybe because people don't like us anymore. I don't know.
Maybe that could be true.
But yeah, so it's just weird because people don't really buy records. But I mean, it's nice because, well, some people like to have a physical copy. There's still old school guys out there, but the nice thing is like, if they take something away from that concert, it's something to remember that concert by.
Yeah.
Every time they, you know, hopefully every time they put that record into their CD player, I just put a record into a CD player. But anyways, anytime they play that record, you know, that CD, maybe they'll think about that time that they saw us and got to hang out with us at that show. It's kind of like a moment. What is that word?
Memento?
Yeah, I
Momentums?
think that's it.
Moment.
Momenta. Is that a band name?
A special thing.
Yeah. But yeah.
I
So, I don't know.
I think it'd be cool if we do go with the idea of making our next 2 EPs kind of a cohesive idea. It'd be cool if after the 4th EP comes out, if we did a vinyl cut of both together.
Yeah, one on one side, one on the other side.
somehow-
I think we did talk about that. I think we'll
I think that'd be
see.
so cool. And then
Yeah.
have the artwork kind of melded together or whatever we decide to do with artwork or anything.
Yep.
But I think that could be another cool way to just like keep things fresh.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool idea. I think we should try
Because then
for
they
that.
still get like, there's like, if you're going to pay for a vinyl, you probably don't want just 5 songs.
Right.
So it'd be cool to, I mean, some people do.
Yeah.
You know, we'll
We've
see.
had a lot of people ask for it, so, and we hope to, for those that are watching and want vinyl, we're hoping to get that sometime, get some vinyls out. We
Yeah.
don't have any vinyls yet.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
But-
I would like to have one
Yeah.
of each.
Yeah, it
It'd
would
be
be
kinda sweet
just,
just to have as a
cool to
memory.
hang on the wall, man. Because right
Yeah.
now, all I have hanging on my wall is
Dead
let's see.
dreams.
I don't have really anything hanging on my wall, actually.
I just farted a little bit.
A little bit, yeah.
Good thing we're outdoors.
Yeah.
Dude, can we talk about your divorce?
Sure.
Because I feel like
Let's chat about it.
let's have a cash tack. No, you're at the point where I mean, you've been open about it though for a long time.
Yeah.
But your divorce was kind of one of the sparks that started the fire that is Earth Groans.
Yeah,
and-
absolutely.
And the momentum behind it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll let you talk about it first so that you can share whatever you'd like to share.
Sure.
And then we can talk about it. So maybe just talk
Yeah.
about whatever you want to say about what happened and then how that led into like Earth Grown stuff.
Sure. Don't get married. I'm just kidding. Get married. It's awesome. I actually, on that note, I'll say that I was married for 5.5 years, and those were 5.5 amazing years. And I would never take any of that back. For those people that say, "Oh, I wish I wouldn't have wasted the time," I loved those years that I was married, and they were incredible. The years I got to spend with her, even before we were married, was awesome. So we were together for about 3 years, married after that for 5.5 years. So together close to 9-ish years or so that we spent together. But yeah, just kind of a freak thing, man. She just she kind of freaked out, and she met somebody and had an affair, and then out of nowhere kind of left me for him. And
That's crazy.
that was absolutely the hardest thing that I've ever gone through in my life. Absolutely. And I will say that I grew a lot through that time. And like through that suffering, I mean, I've become, I don't know if I want to say a better person, but like I definitely, like, it made me, anytime you have something big like that happen in your life, you reevaluate things. You know, somebody dies or something big and catastrophic like that happens in your life, you reevaluate everything. And some of the stuff that isn't important falls to the wayside, and it's good for us.
Yeah.
You know, you kind of trim those things out of your life. Anyways, and part of our life and our plans is we were going to be, she was a photographer and I was doing this studio thing. We were going to be moving down to Oklahoma to pursue in more of like an artistic, I don't know, you know, more cultured environment, because we were in traditional old school Scotland, South Dakota, where, I mean, our businesses, we were doing fine, but we just wanted to be more in an artistic culture, I guess.
Right.
So, yeah, we had plans to move down there and pursue that. And then she left a few months before we were actually going to do that. So then I was completely like, what am I doing with my life?
Everything turned upside down.
Literally everything was like completely that I thought that I had planned for. I thought I had my life all planned and figured out what I was going to be doing, and all of that was gone. So, and I had always felt like I was called to do like ministry, you know, in whatever field I'd be in. So whether it's studio or, you know, going on mission field, whatever, you know, music, whatever it would be, I'd wanted to be pursuing ministry. And so I was like, man, God has gifted me and given me this heart to play music and to love people in the music scene. So I'm going to try either pursuing that where I'm at. You know, it took a lot of praying and a lot of fasting to like be at a point where it's like, you know, God, if you want this band to work out, like, you got to help me out here, because I don't know how I'm going to make that work here in South Dakota. But he did, like, and everything just kind of fell together so easily. Like, I've been in a lot of bands and nothing was as easy. So I believe that God totally had a hand in like preparing. I'm not saying that he made Jenny leave or anything like that, but I do believe that God always works through everything for the best of like his glory, even the bad crap that happens, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe he takes every situation and will pull good out of it. And I think that out of my divorce came, you know, Groans, which has been one of the best things that's ever happened in my life. So
yeah. It's so weird. I still remember exactly where I was when you called me and told me what happened.
Yeah.
Because I think at that time we were planning things, right?
Which, well,
Like
we were doing
things?
Type A alert stuff. This was before
my
Groans
gosh.
had started. Yeah. So I was doing the Type A
Oh.
alert record.
Yeah, so you were mixing and mastering my old band's record.
The full length. Yeah.
I was in college, and I was at Applebee's with friends, and you called me. I was like, oh, I gotta go outside. So I went outside and answered the phone. You told me, and I was like, holy crap, this is insane. And I think you told me something like what happened, and then you were like, I don't know how fast I'm gonna be able to get the album done.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, don't even worry about it right now.
Yeah, I was in all sorts of messed up.
And then, yeah, I remember we had this one song. I think it's still like, looking back at that album that my old band did, we had one song called Meaningless, and it was like a really chill song. And I remember you made a post about it or something and
I
said,
bawled my eyes out over that song.
yeah, you said something like that, and it made me bawl my eyes out
Yeah.
just reading it. I was like, oh, it's so cool how, like, music, like, even though my old band, like, didn't do anything.
Yeah,
Like-
that music still spoke to me in the moment where I was.
And you were, like, bringing it to life, like,
Yeah.
in a studio.
Yeah.
I think that's so interesting.
Yeah, it's really cool how that works.
And then
And just like how powerful music is in itself. And I totally, like, I believe that music had helped heal me through everything that I went through. You know, in some of our lyrics, I get to write about some of the stuff, and, you know, not just like specifically with my divorce, but just like things that I've been through and everything. And have been able to be healed, through some of that. So it's incredible.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, music is powerful. I've definitely relied on it heavily in times, like, for healing. And I know, like, I've never gone through anything like what you've gone through, but there's definitely been times, like, in the life of Earth Groans that I've gone through really crappy stuff, and just being on stage playing music was like, oh my gosh, like, this 20 minutes out of my day, like, got me through or made me feel something positive.
Yeah, definitely.
It's funny how, like,
it is restoring in ways, re-energizing and whatever.
And it's cool, like, it's we play a style of music that's very unpopular, very aggressive and angry sounding. Yeah. But it, like, brings me so much joy.
Right.
Isn't that funny?
It's crazy.
Our music is, like, the loudest possible guitar sounds, slamming on drums and yelling. Yeah. There's no singing.
And, like, to me, like, some of it's like straight up worship lyrics.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I've had this one older lady that has followed me on some social media. She messaged me, she's like, have you ever thought about doing worship music? Because I've read your lyrics and they're very much like contemporary worship songs. Like, well, this is worship to me. Yeah. So, yeah, and I had to explain that. And I understand that people don't always get that. But, like, yeah, like, the Bible doesn't, like, say this is exactly what worship is going to be. You know, he doesn't, like, paint that picture. I think I've heard somebody else, I heard this quote from somebody that one of the biggest forms of worship is just use the gifts that God has blessed you with. And when I heard that, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. Like, just going to work in my studio all day, even if it's a project I don't want to be working on, depending where my heart is, it can be worship. You know?
And I feel like I like that even in our band, all of us are in different places spiritually, even, like, different than where we started 4 years ago. Yeah. And it's cool because, like, the music we make it's not made to be played in a church, Right. And so it's like, even if you're not a Christian, like, you can enjoy this in a different way, and like, none of us are gonna say you have to be something. Yeah. And
I mean, like, there's definitely, like, positive message that people can take away, even if they don't believe in God, they don't believe in Christ or whatever, they can still take away a positive message or something uplifting from our music. So
yeah, I did a research or some sort of paper in college that was comparing the heavy music scene to the church, comparing and contrasting. And I don't even remember all of this. Is, like, randomly coming to my head.
Yeah, so that's really cool.
It's spotty, but I basically...
Is there Spark Notes? I'd love to get it.
Yeah, it's probably online. It was a big paper. It blew up on Spark Notes. But basically, I just talked about how the heavy music community, like, there's definitely, like, some violence and stuff in it too, but there's a lot of good. Like, for instance, people, like, taking care of us, taking us in. Yeah. So I wrote this paper from the perspective of being on tour in a poor band. Like, we had nothing, no money, no food, and, like, experiencing people taking us in, even though they weren't Christians or whatever, and how, like, I thought that's how the American church should be more like. It's like, no, stop asking people what they believe before you love them. Right. Like, who cares? Like, we're all just humans.
Just meet people where they're at.
Yeah, and just love them, take care of each other. And I don't know, that's what I love that about.
Because God doesn't, like, come to a person and be like, all right, well, what, show me what you're doing with your life before I decide I'm going to love you,
Yeah, we have
show me your sins before I'm going to love you or whatever,
Yeah, it's like, I feel like the American opinion of Jesus is a lot different. And it's made me freaking struggle so much with beliefs, because I used to be, like, just so straight up, like, traditional Christian, like, no doubts in my mind, but I also never questioned anything. And then getting raised in, like, this weird Pentecostal setting, and then going to this evangelical, is that how you say it? Yeah, evangelical Christian college, like, finally made me be like, what the friggin' heck do I believe in? And so I'm still going through all that right now, but it's been nice to just be in this setting, in a place where I'm not judged, still playing music that some people are worshiping to, and some people are throwing down to. Yeah. It's like, I love it. Yeah. It feels like freedom.
For sure.
Which is, I don't know, super cool.
Yep.
So I guess we'll keep going.
I'm got nothing to do.
I mean, we do gotta roast some weenies soon.
We gotta roast some weenies, blow somebody up with some bottle rockets.
Blow some bottle rockets out of a bum crack. That's crazy. Cool. Yeah, I feel good about this.
Sweet.
That was
This
good.
has been good.
This has been.
I think it might be the kombucha.
It's got to be the kombucha.
Got my guts feeling good.
Dude, yeah, we've been drinking some kombucha on this tour, and it makes my guts feel so dang good. Is there anything else you want to talk about before we...
Let's talk about women.
Oh, actually, that was one thing I was going to mention. I thought it was
Women?
really... Yeah. I was just going to mention women. Congratulations, women. You've been mentioned. No, I was going to say, I thought it was really cool that after you went through your divorce and everything, you didn't just like run to girls and like sex and all that stuff as like, because I feel like that's something that I would probably do if I was married, and I would like, I feel like a lot of people, we do that to cope.
Yeah. There's a
Just
lot
kinda-
of coping
just like-
mechanisms.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, there's
a
so
lot
much.
of bad ones, but that was something that I definitely tried to focus on the most, is not, I was trying to get myself into the word and like around good people instead of turning to that stuff, because I knew just like how bad that, that would be in that time for me, and what kind of path that could take me into.
Yeah. And it's
So-
cool because you didn't end up using and abusing anybody.
Right.
You just went through the crap
Yeah.
and got refined.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're like, you seem like happy.
I'm gold, baby.
You're just straight gold, brother. If I cut you open, you'd be made of gold.
Gold.
That's so cool. So yeah, and then your other thing is you're a full-time audio engineer.
Yes.
How are you feeling about that? Is that something you want to do forever?
Yeah, I mean, and like what I want to do forever. I don't know what I want to do forever.
Yeah, I mean, that's a dumb question, kind of.
No, but it's something that like I've been thinking about for the last few years. Like, it's crazy. Like after going through that divorce and like everything literally changing in my life overnight, I don't know like what I'm gonna be doing. Like it's all like what I thought I had planned out for like that I was doing for like 8 years changed overnight. So it's hard to make plans, and it's hard to know what I want to be doing. So I'm trying to take it just like, day by day. But for right now, I'm very content with where I'm at, and it's taken me a while to get there. Finding contentment in America is really hard. I think just finding contentment at all is just, it's complicated. So I'm content with where things are right now. And what I'm going to be doing, what I want to be doing in the next years to come, not 100% sure. I do love doing audio, and I'm sure I'll be doing it for longer.
Yeah.
I don't want to live in Scotland, South Dakota. We talked about this earlier on this tour, but I won't live in Scotland, South Dakota forever.
Thank God.
Hope I don't.
That would be so sad.
That would be pretty rough. But yeah, I'm very, very blessed because I get to record bands. I get to make music. I get to record music. I get to make art every day of my life, whether it's playing music or recording music. So that's all I've ever wanted to do. When I was young and I was making life goals, I wanted to be a professional baseball player. I wanted to be a professional football player. And I already did all that.
Yeah, you got really close to those, kind of accomplished those early
free
on.
throw champ. I wanted to do that.
Yeah, you were actually the free throw champ.
I was the free throw champ of South Dakota back in like 2002, 3.
Yeah,
something like that.
and that's all we need to say about that.
Sick brag. But yeah, but for real though, I wanted my only goals I really had was I wanted to be in a band on Solid State Records. And that's not even a joke. I honestly, that was like a goal of mine was
Me
just
too.
to be in a band on a sweet record label and then own my own recording studio. And besides that, I didn't really make any other goals. So I don't know if I'll do recording studio forever because it can be really hard and it can burn you out. And there are some days where it kind of feels like a job, and I don't want it to just feel like a job because art is too awesome for it to just be a job. I want it to be part of my soul, and so yeah, I don't know if I'll do it forever, but I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now. I mean, it's just awesome. I get to hang out with really cool people and make really cool records.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even if they aren't cool records, I get to hang out with cool people making art. I make it, even if they're just stoked on it and nobody else is, like that's awesome.
Yeah. I've been kind of like feeling similar about videos where it's just so my favorite things to do are make videos and play music.
Yep.
And I love that because they can work together really well.
Yep.
And then also if I'm at home just working on client work and hating myself, I can just when we go on tour it's like, "Oh, I'm set free for a little bit."
Right, yeah.
But it is nice to have an interest in two different worlds.
Yes.
Like that, whereas you're kind of like surrounded by music and heavy music, it seems like all the time.
Yeah.
So who knows? Maybe if you move to Nashville or somewhere else or whatever, maybe you'll figure out something else to kind of like. I don't know. I feel like it's good to have two things.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And I love other forms of art. I love painting. I don't do it very much anymore because I haven't had time for it. But I love painting. I love playing music. You know, and I love working with my hands and just doing a lot of things. You know, and so maybe, but I also just love being around people. So maybe somewhere along my life, I will do something else. If I do move, we talked about this, but if I move, I feel like I won't do studio stuff anymore. I don't know how.
You'd have to own a building,
Yeah.
which is way more expensive in other places.
Yeah, see, I don't feel like I could go from where I'm at now because my studio is like, I like my studio. I love my studio. I love working in my own space, having my own things. I don't think I'd go and work in somebody else's studio or I couldn't afford to build a new studio.
Yeah.
You know, if I moved to Nashville or something like that, I couldn't afford that. So I would have to work in somebody else's studio, and I don't know if I could enjoy it as much as I do right now.
Of having your own.
Yeah. So who
space.
knows? Maybe I'll move and do something completely different with my life.
Want to work for me?
Sure. Sheffield
I'll
Creative.
pay you a corn chip and a Raisin Bran box.
Hey, I'm down with that.
That's crazy, dude. That's awesome. We'll see. We'll just have to see where things go.
Yeah, dude. We'll see where things go.
We're trying to. I think you're pretty good at this, and I suck at it. But I'm just trying to enjoy the journey. Like playing. Like last night's show was really hard to get through. There's like 5 people watching us, maybe not even.
Yeah. But it's still like, for me, I guess you just like. That was a whole lot of mush right there.
Go for it, dude.
Gears are turning, baby.
This podcast is all about mushertons.
Yes. But one thing that I've been doing in my life is really focusing on perspective. And I think that's like one way of like choosing to be happy is your perspective of the situation that you're in. You know, perspective and circumstance equals your experience. So those two things, like having what your perspective is in your circumstance will determine what your experience is in life.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's good.
So I think choosing to have the correct or to have a positive perspective, you know, you control your perspective. Just having a positive outlook and such, no matter what your circumstance is, will make just for a good experience. I mean, you don't get that day back. So if you want to choose to be miserable through your circumstances, then you're going to be miserable in life. Not saying that's about you, but
Right.
just in general.
No, but it does apply to me.
Yeah. So just like finding whatever positive, just focusing, even if there's one positive thing in a sea of 1,000 negative things, you got that one positive thing that you can focus on.
Yeah.
And that's where your perspective's at, you know?
I love that.
So
That's cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like you got to have a healthy balance of like not ignoring the negatives.
Sure.
Like handling them well.
Yeah.
But also like staying
Because you learn from
focused.
those negatives and such too.
Yeah.
You know? But
And there's gonna be poopy days here and there, but
yeah,
like you said,
for sure.
like looking
and
for something.
I do get stressed out. Like when our alternator went out, I get stressed out about that kind of stuff. But everything went so well that day.
Okay, yeah. So we're in Atlanta.
On our way to Atlanta.
On our way to Atlanta, we find out our alternator's out.
the red light comes on our dashboard, and I was like, "Oh frick, that probably means our alternator's going
which
out."
means we only have the battery life left to drive.
Yeah, because
It's not
that's it.
charging.
Yes, not charging anymore.
So we're like, okay, please let us make it to Atlanta. We make it to Atlanta. We're like freaking out. It was awesome. And then on the way there, I was just like casually talking to my friend Kevin Johnson, awesome video baby boy.
Great, dude.
Great boy. And just in the background, he had been talking to a group of guys, like his close friends, and they raised like, what was that, $400 or $500?
$350 or something.
Yeah, it was like almost the exact amount.
At first, yeah, it was. They had $300, and then I went to when I got the stuff at the parts store, it was almost like exactly $300 for the alternator and the tools that we needed.
Yeah. And we ended up, me and you changed it.
Yeah.
We had like a rusty bolt that we had to
It
deal
was
with.
brutal. It was
really
brutal.
hard.
I'm not mechanical by any means, but luckily my brother is, and he walked us through it.
On the phone, yeah.
Yeah.
So we like get the new alternator in the van, go over to the stage, like play.
Yeah,
right
we had like
after.
20 minutes, but for me, that was like
That's not enough
time.
And it was definitely a hard set to get through because it's like we didn't have that time to relax, chill, prep for the show.
Yeah.
But we got through it and we had a van to drive home in. Like,
Yeah.
I love that. That kind of stuff is awesome.
Yeah.
And that
Amazing.
I feel like things like that only happen on tour when you're with a group of guys and you're poor and it's like things just happen.
Yeah.
It's so weird. We've had a lot of stories like
A
that.
lot of like just blessings from other people, from God, everything. It's been incredible.
That's crazy. Dude, thank you so much for coming on
Dude, yeah.
the show. I didn't say it when it happened, but at one point you said help me out here. Like you were telling a story and you're like, help me out here in the story that you're saying. And I was like, dude, because that's the name of the podcast.
That's why.
Get it? Thanks for being on the show.
Dude, yeah.
Let's go roast.
Thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks for traveling with me.
Yeah.
Let's go roast some weenies and launch some firecrackies.
Let's do we.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like my stuff, consider subscribing to my channel. It would mean a whole lot to me. If you'd like your name on all of my work, access to episodes of my podcast early, or bonus episodes of my vlog, head over to patreon.com/Zachariah Mayfield. You can support me for as little as $3 a month. That's a pretty freaking good deal.